So it's the end of 2022, and in this video I want to talk about the car scene and some of the disrespect I have seen this year, and frankly how I want it to change, how social media has impacted the car scene, and a lot of things that have happened with the car scene this year. It's not necessarily all bad, there's a lot of great things that have happened, but I really wanted to talk about something that was different on my channel, not a car review, an actual topic of the car scene and the cars that we own as car enthusiasts, and how that looks like it's going to change from society's point of view. So without further ado, let's jump into today's video. I'm Cars with Ben. The first problem I wanted to talk about with 2022 and the car scene is a person called StancyPants and his Mazda RX8, which got burned, supposedly, by someone else who didn't like the stance fitment. Just a quick brief update. If you don't know what stance is, it's obviously the way the car sits and how low it is to the ground, and sometimes the wheels sit out a bit like this 350Z. Now with that out of the way, let's jump into it. It's not going to be everyone's taste, I get that, but as a car enthusiast, I try and appreciate all builds, and I think that's what we should all go for as car enthusiasts. Now if you've been living under a rock, you should definitely know about this story, or if you've not been on social media, that's fair. But basically, it's the build of this Mazda RX-8 right here. Unfortunately, it was burned, supposedly, by someone who didn't like it. Now, when I look at the picture, and you can see the post here, it is, of course, in the right area, so it leads me to believe that it was, and I'll go into that in a minute. But the main point of this video really is to talk about the hate that people get as car enthusiasts. This doesn't happen all the time. I see a lot of great people, and I meet a lot of people. But it seems a shame to people that don't have a clue about cars to hate on it because it's just the thing to do. Now, with this car, yes, it might not be to everyone's taste, but I respect the build. I respect the amount of effort that's gone into it. Just watch this video about his opinions.
The scene, regardless of the amount of hate you get?
100%. Yeah.
Why?
Because everyone here is friendly. I'm friends with everyone here. I don't care what you drive. I don't care if it's bad.
You know, it seems like police want to stop us from enjoying our cars, and that's always going to be a problem. But it's not necessarily police, it's police and society. I think there's a lot that can be said for car enthusiasts, and I think it's just being open to other people and showing off what our pride and joys are. On to the actual engine. Well, of course, it's a rotary engine, so whether it was a fire or not, it does lead me to believe that, of course, with these cars, they had burning issues at the very front. Some of them implode, especially with the rotary. So that is one to think about when I do look at this story. But I still believe this is a complete shame for the owner and the community, because if this happens once, it might happen again. It's also why RX-8s are so cheap nowadays. Another issue I saw this year, and I think a lot of other people saw this on social media too, was Gravity Show. Now, I'm not blaming the show per se. Maybe the way it was ran could have been better, but from what I saw, it looked great, and I definitely would go. I just want to make that absolutely clear. Unfortunately, what happened at Gravity Show, as you can see below, is people, mostly people in the audience, mostly members of the public, touching and invading other people's vehicles in a way that they absolutely should not. As you can see, I've put a few pictures here of owners who, one, had something stuffed up their exhaust. Now, that is ridiculously dangerous, and I do not condone anything like that. It's just awful that people should do that, and I really, really hate that person. I just think this needs to stop. The hate, I mean, I'm surprised that someone would go to a car meet and even do that unless they had something out for the owner. Even then, it's not acceptable. It just seems an absolute shame that these things happen at shows. Now, of course, I'm not blaming the show entirely, but it's just one that I wanted to make a point of, because this happened in the UK this year, and I'm not sure, but it probably does happen other places. And similar to StancyPants, I felt like this had to be addressed. The other part of this video I wanted to address is social media. Look, social media is a major influence on us as car enthusiasts and people in general. And I think it's important to note that aside from what we see on social media, we should never compare against others or feel like we don't have enough to give when it comes to a car meet or a car situation where we're up against other people. All people are at different levels, and all people have different budgets. Whether you have the best car or what people might consider the worst, it doesn't really matter. It's what you think of your car. And I think it's really important to go into that mindset with all car enthusiasts, whether you're an experienced pro or you're just going into things. You're always going to feel that situation. It seems like in today's world we are changing as a society, and people are forcing us into electric cars, and this could be sort of the last era of this enthusiasm that we have for vehicles. So I think it's really important. I wanted to put this in the last part of the video to say, even though people do hate certain types, whether it be muscle, whether it be stance, whether it be racers, tuners, anything, pickup trucks, it doesn't really matter. the fact that we can modify cars and come together as a community is really important. So let's not let the outside world influence us. Let's all be good to each other. And I think to end this video, it's really important that we shouldn't ever touch anyone else's cars unless we've had permission. It's just completely not acceptable. With the StancyPants situation, I do believe that was a situation with the car and its mechanical issues. That shouldn't have happened. I know a lot of people have speculated on that. It's a shame to see what has happened. Throughout other events across the world, I think we need to change the way we act and how we behave around car enthusiasts. If you're not a car enthusiast, try and understand their point of view. If you are a cute car enthusiast, try and appreciate someone who isn't a car enthusiast. Maybe they will come round and you can kind of share this love and passion. So really, to end that video, I am Cars with Ben. Hope you enjoyed the video.
Hope you've enjoyed this Cars with Ben video. Don't forget to subscribe if you like car content.